Though I don't remember the very day getting my first Nintendo Entertainment System, I was told that it was purchased for $20 at a local pawnshop for use on rainy days, as my mother put it. It only had the Duck Hunt and Mario game, but that was enough for us. Mario Brothers was most likely the first video game I had ever played, and my brothers and myself played it to death. Duck Hunt and Clay Shooter were fun alright, but nothing in comparison to the endless hours of jumping on Goombas, blasting Koopas with fireballs, and discovering new beanstalks that led to the clouds. We played it so much that my father, whom I'm sure played Mario Brothers about twice in his life, can sing the Mario Brothers tune and make the coin noise, even 20 years later. As time went on, we acquired a few games here and there. I remember vividly my brother getting Zelda 2: The Adventures of Link for Christmas, and being in awe of the gold cartridge gleaming in the Christmas tree lights. As more time went on, the slot cover broke off, and games became more difficult to play, so my father picked up another NES from a friend's son. This one came with 2 whole trays of NES games: Monster Party, Ninja Gaiden, Tengen Baseball, Friday the 13th, Air Fortress, Batman, Blaster Master, Iron Sword, Xenophobe, Magic Johnson's Fast Break, and Gotcha. These were the games of my childhood. There were more, but my father ended up selling some years later behind our back. We played them years ago, so to him, they were just old toys. He didn't understand the lasting effect that these games would have on us. This new NES eventually wore down as well, though my little brother would still wake up at the crack of dawn every morning to play. I could tell because I could hear him from the other end of the house, blowing into the cartridges with all his might. Nothing but Nintendo could get him out of bed that early. My father now jokes that they should have called it the Nintendo Blow, and rightly so. The sound of blowing into an NES cartridge has a certain place in our generation's heart, something that we all did, though we didn't really know why. We couldn't see any dust in there, so what did the blowing even do? Those games were so different, and we, as kids, viewed them differently. Because of the sporadic nature of the NES, some games would stop working halfway through, after hours and hours of hard work. Would we get angry, throw our controllers across the room in a fit, cry to our parents? No. We would simply let out an "ah," and then start over. It wasn't a big deal. We didn't care if we played the first few levels of Mario 1,000 times. I remember our Zelda 2 wouldn't even save, so every time we turned it on, we'd started back with no special powers, no items, and minimum health. We rarely got past the first village, but again, we were fine with that. Games these days just don't have that quality. Some games, like Monster Party, were pretty messed up, with blood on the walls, legs sticking out of the ground, skulls everywhere, but we didn't even notice as kids. Looking back now, I can't believe my parents even let me play that. Some games we didn't even understand how to play, if we were even progressing at all, but again, it didn't matter. It was always just fun to sit down and take our turns with that little rectangular controller. Today, the problems with the NES can be alleviated with the Wii's Virtual Console, but as I played a Virtual Console game for the first time, it just wasn't the same. There were no crazy glitches causing backwards music and being able to skate into the audience, no spending 20 minutes coaxing a game to work, no sound of blowing into the cartridge, no blinking red light, no having to restart halfway. The games just didn't feel complete. I was playing them for sure, but I wasn't experiencing the NES. So now, if I can't find the cartridge, I just don't bother, because it's not the same. Some of you will think I'm crazy to want all those errors and trouble, but I know that others out there will know exactly what I'm talking about. This is Silver Mongoose, and remember, classic gaming never gets old.